Welcome back to MMA Surge. I'm your host, Andrew Montañez, and this is Request Week. So you guys have been sending in a lot of requests. I've been getting a lot of requests for the rear naked choke defense, so I'm gonna teach you guys that today. All right, I'm gonna show you guys how to do this rear naked choke defense. I'm gonna bring Simon in to demonstrate. So, rear naked choke would take place when he has my back with hooks in. I'm gonna show you just a little modified so you guys can see. So we're gonna sit here. So, first gonna show you just a couple basic ways not to get choked. So first here, the guy has your back. What you wanna do is, I like to raise my shoulders and tuck my chin. What that's gonna do is, it's gonna make it a little harder for him to get his arm across and under my neck. So I go like this, he goes to get his arm across my neck. It's hard for him. It's not very easy for him. I don't just wanna put my chin out there and let him choke me. So he puts his arm across my throat. First thing I wanna do is put my hands together. I'm gonna look to just grab his arm and buy myself some space. So I grab his arm and I tuck my chin in front of my fingers. What this is gonna do is, it's gonna create a barrier between his arm and my throat. So I have some space to hide here. So right here, he goes to lock up the choke. Bam, he grabs his bicep and gets himself a choke. So if this happens where he gets the lock, I have to stop worrying about this, keep my chin tucked. I have to fight the top hand. It's this hand that makes the choke work. It's this hand that essentially finishes the move. So the hand's behind my head. So I take my two hands, I wanna grab his hand, I wanna pull this over my shoulder. Right here, he can still try to squeeze and choke me. It's not gonna tap everyone, but what I like to do is I like to take this wrist and I do this transferring thing. So what I'm gonna do is, my right hand is on his left arm, I hold it, and I weave my arm inside, and I put his arm under my armpit. Take my other hand, I'm gonna fight this. I do the same thing. So left hand grabs his right hand, up and through, bam. So you see what happened is, he went from having both hands under my throat to both hands under my armpit. So he can't choke me right now. So I'll show that again. He goes for the choke, I tuck my chin, I grab myself here. All right, he locked the choke up, grab the hand, pull it over my shoulder. 1, 2, I'm out of the choke. So that's your first just basic defense is fight the top hand, chin down, get the choke into it, get his arms into a good position. But it's not always perfect like that. So he has me in this choke. So what you could do here is, sometimes the guy will have this arm still really tight. I go to grab this and he still squeezes me really tight. So what I like to do is, I turn the guy's thumb up, I'm gonna raise my left shoulder, I'm gonna pull down and look to tap him right here. You might not always tap the guy, but watch what happens to his right hand when I pull down. It releases off my throat. Bam, I can get him back under my arms. That's your second defense is, same thing, grab the top hand, and I'll pull down, drop my shoulder up, see if I can get a submission or just get out of the move. Third defense is, learned this from Brian Ebersole a few years ago. He told me, only one person can choke you at a time. So what that means is, if he goes to choke me, I'm already choking myself. So he goes to choke me, he technically can't choke me because what I'm doing is I'm cupping my neck and I'm making a little space there. So see, I tuck my chin in, he goes to choke me, it's really impossible for him to choke me. Even if he locks up the choke, all I gotta do is raise my arms up and the choke is gone. So those are 3 basic ways. And like I've always said, every submission, you have to have your desperation way of getting out of it. So I'll show you 2 desperation ways I like to use. Number 1 is, let's say he gets me in a full rear naked choke. I'm here. He gets me choked. This is a really bad position for me. So what I'm gonna look to do is, I have to move immediately. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get my back to the mat. So I'm gonna drop off to one side, and I just keep trying to rotate my back and my hips to the mat. What you see is, if he's not behind me and the mat is behind me, he can't choke me. So my back is against the mat, I keep moving, I turn, I get out the guard. So I'll show that again. He gets me in a full rear naked choke. I'm getting choked. I'm like, oh crap, we're about to lose. Over here, I scoot, and I turn, and I get out. My other desperation one, this is more for the flexible type of guys and the agile guys. He puts me in this choke. I'm gonna open his legs out, and what I'm gonna look to do is I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna open his legs out, and I'm gonna look to a back roll. And get on out of the submission. So I'll show that one more time. He's got me in this rear naked. Squeeze it. So he's squeezing. I know I'm about to get tapped past the legs. Roll and get out. And those right there, your basic submission defenses when it comes to rear naked choke. All right, let's just recap the rear naked choke defense. 1, chin down, hands here, shoulders up. Guy probably won't be able to get his arm underneath, but some guys will still go for it. They'll get the choke on you. What you gotta watch out for is when they get the clasping hand. So they get one hand under you, grab the hand, because that's the hand that's gonna choke you. So always keep that away from the back of your head. So hold it down, pass it to your armpit. Once you get one in your armpit, you're pretty safe, but if you wanna be safer, get the other hand in your armpit, and now you're in an even position. Next defense is the guy goes for the rear naked choke. He tries to get that clasping hand, grab the hand, turn the thumb up, put the shoulder up and pull down. You might be able to get the submission, but the guy will probably release the choke around your neck. Third one is the good old rule of only one person can choke you at a time. So if you choke yourself, the other guy can't choke you. So choke yourself, buy yourself some space under your neck, and you'll be fine. Fourth one, you're gonna get into a little bit of desperation. So if the guy's behind you, he could choke you. So if the mat's behind me, he can't choke me. So what you're gonna try to do is just get your back to the mat. Whatever it takes to slide your back to the mat, you'll be able to get out of the choke. And the fifth one, very desperate move, pull the legs off your inner thighs and do a roll back, and you could possibly end up in side control. All right, guys, thank you very much for all of your requests. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have request week, so I appreciate all the requests. Keep them coming, because that's the way this show works. You guys request something, we do it. It's as simple as that. Subscribe to the channel. I'm the Squid, and I'll see you next time.